Welcome one and all to What Culture Gaming. My name is Sai and I will be your host for this Worst Games Ever quiz. We've done a lot of challenges over the years on the channel about games that we love and would like to think that we know plenty about, so I thought I would 180 it and talk about the games that are stinkers, clunkers, and maybe not the worst games ever, but games that have the worst controversies ever. I have gathered up the keenest minds in the office, aka the people that we're in today. Let's go from left to right, introduce yourselves, and what's the worst game you've ever played? Contestant number one.
Hello, it's me, Ewan. I'm really bad at recalls. This definitely isn't the worst game I've ever played. However, X-Men, the official game from 2006, that's a big stinker. Wasn't worth it to find out what happened to Nightcrawler.
It's not good. I'm Scott Tailford, head of gaming from upstairs. The worst thing I played is L.A. Noire. Deal with it. You got to deal with it, Joe.
I've got to deal with it. I'm Joe from What Culture Gaming, and the worst game I've played in terms of ineptitude was probably Ride to Hell Retribution 1%, and the worst game in terms of intention, Hunt Down the Freeman. It's a mod, but they sold it for a lot of money, and it was dreadful.
What the fuck?
I'm Stevie Ward. I do community over at PC Gamer, and I'm the worst contestant ever. I tend to play very good games that we get to review for money, which is lovely. But I'd probably have to say the worst game I've ever played is any game I forgot to download before my day off. I'm sticking to that because you just hate the game anyway when you start playing it.
You resent it.
100 gig downloads? No.
When you really should just resent yourself.
That's our motto.
So the way this is going to work is like many other buzzer quizzes that we've done. Only 3 of our competitors can go on to the next round. They need to score 3 points to move on, and commiserations to the person that doesn't manage to do that. These questions are going to come thick and fast. We're going to start off with an easy one. I'll be very disappointed if you all don't get the answer to this one. So that being said, let's begin. Your first question. Hundreds of unsold copies of what game were found to be buried?
What Culture Tailford?
E.T.
Correct.
Extraterrestrial.
Scott first on the board. Your next question, gang. Finish the name of this Philips CDI abomination, Zelda, the Wand of...
What Culture Johnston?
Gamelon.
Correct.
Yep.
It's not a word.
Didn't say it had to be a word. I just said finish it. Okay, which game in the Arkham series was so broken on
What
PC?
Culture Patterson?
Batman Arkham Knight.
Correct.
My button's not working.
Your next question. Despite its negative reception, a port of Superman 64 was developed for another console before...
What Culture Johnston?
PlayStation 1.
Correct.
My button's not working.
Cancelled before licensing issues. Goodness knows what they would have called it. Superman 64 for PS1. Catchy title, I guess. Joe, you're 1 point away from making it through to the next round. The next question is, what game in the Sonic series currently holds the lowest...
What Culture Tailford?
I'm going to go with Sonic Boom.
Is correct. Yes. Well done.
Sonic 06!
I was going to go
Not
Sonic
Sonic
06. I would've
06.
been wrong anyway.
Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, 32 on Metacritic.
Great Netflix show. Recommend it.
Yeah, correct, actually. Okay, so complete the name of this microtransaction-heavy mobile phone game, Final Fantasy All the...
What Culture Johnston?
No, I've forgotten what it was. all the bravest!
I'll have to give you that. Correct, I guess.
It's a
The
What
universe
Culture
wanted
Johnston.
you to get that right.
Yeah, I guess so. Joe, you're through to the next round. Congratulations. Scott, you're 1 point away. You and 2. Stevie, yet to get on the board. Your next question. Which overhyped video game failed to live up to the promise of making you John Romero's bitch?
What Culture Tailford?
I'm probably going to get its name wrong. I think it's Daikatana.
Correct, it is Daikatana. Scott, you're through the next round. Let's see who joins our 2 so far. Before its eventual 2011 release, what year was Duke Nukem Forever originally announced? Ooh. Take a guess.
What Culture Patterson?
2003?
It's not, I'm afraid.
Stevie the Steel.
Not What Culture, it's Stevie Ward.
2008.
Is also incorrect, I'm
98
afraid.
or something, wasn't it?
1997.
I was wrong. How did I do that?
Unbelievable.
The same year that Duke Nukem 3D came out, was that?
Sure.
Wow, okay, you're just flexing on us now. You're literally already through, Joe.
I'm probably wrong.
Did you think I was gone forever?
Okay, so the next question. Actress Cameron Diaz's only video game voice performance, according to IMDb, is which terrible 2003 action movie tie-in?
What Culture Patterson?
Charlie's Angels?
is correct.
Wow.
Well done.
Iconic movie.
Okay, it's all to play for, except, I mean, you know, you got one more to get. Stevie, you got 3 more to get. Best of
My
luck.
button's not working.
I don't think you can use that excuse after we have evidence. Otherwise.
You need to hover.
I'm going to try. Oh, I'm
Yeah, you can get your hand
hovering.
ready.
I'm
That's better, yeah.
hovered.
Hit it really hard.
Your next question. Actress Drew Barrymore's voice has appeared in 2 video games, according to IMDb. One is Charlie's Angels. The other is a spin-off of which animated sitcom? Ooh. Take a guess. Please.
What Culture Patterson?
The Drew Barrymore Show.
Not what culture, it's Stevie Ward.
Would it be a Family Guy?
Correct! It is Family Guy, The Quest for Stuff.
See, I got one.
Hey.
Come back on.
It is possible. The subtitle of Metacritic's lowest scoring game of 2022 is ironically No Regrets. Which franchise is this game from?
I know that as well. Yeah.
Not what culture, it's Stevie Ward.
Payday, is it?
One of those letters is right.
Yeah, one of those letters is right. It's Postal.
Yeah.
Postal 4, No Regrets.
That's the ticket.
At the time of writing, what 2023 game has the lowest Metacritic score so far this year?
What Culture Patterson?
Redfall?
Oh.
Come on, Stevie, I believe in
I
you.
don't know it.
Take a guess. Come on.
I don't know it.
You're going with nothing.
I'm going.
No game has a bad rating this year.
I don't know. I don't know.
Incorrect.
A great year. Okay, in that case, the correct answer was The Lord of the Rings Gollum.
So easy.
Oh, just
So bad you all forgot about it.
throw me in the lava, man.
In which game do a beloved bear and bird duo infamously craft vehicles to drive around?
What Culture Patterson?
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts?
Is correct. Welcome to the semi-final, Ewan. Commiserations to Stevie
I
Ward.
know.
Thank you for playing.
Right. Can I just?
Round 2, the semi-finals. All the same stuff again, more terrible games, but this time you're scoring 4 points to make it through to the final. Only 2 people, of course. Let's move into the next question. What is the name of the near universally panned Mortal Kombat beat-em-up starring...
What Culture Johnston?
Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. Oh! Starring someone else.
What Culture Tailford?
It must be Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
Correct. Starring Japs.
Oh no!
Just missed the one operative.
Questions.
I'd have lost a point if this was a university challenge.
That question actually did come up on No, okay. Which celebrity-endorsed Mega Drive game got a reputation for having its cartridge bought just to be burned and destroyed?
What Culture Johnston?
Was it Shaq Fu?
Correct. Shaq Fu. Have we ever done that? We should do that. I know it's an old hat.
Games that were burned.
Are we really a gaming channel if we haven't burned a copy of Shaq Fu? Your next question. How many story campaigns are there in Resident Evil 6?
What Culture Johnston?
5? Too many?
I'm afraid not.
What Culture Patterson?
3?
Ooh,
What Culture Tailford?
6. 7. It's
Oh
a
my
big number.
goodness, you danced all the way around 4.
I was close. I demand a point.
Next question, I hope I say this correctly. Eidetic, who are responsible for the Siphon Filter series, cut their teeth on which terrible 1996 3D platformer?
What Culture Johnston?
Bubsy 3D.
Correct, well done.
This is where the age advantage is.
This truck driving game has a total disregard for physics and also the lowest...
What Culture Johnston?
Big rigs over the road racing.
Well done. Of
That
course.
sounds like an innuendo.
Big rigs.
19 inches of big rigs.
Dan Durkin, when I sent him these questions just for an extra pair of eyes, said, no one's going to get that. And you got it before the question was even finished. So well done.
I had
there,
a
John.
truck and I was like,
He's a trucker at heart. Big Briggs was the first game to get a 1 out of 10 review from GameSpot. Which biker gang enthused misogyny
What
simulator?
culture Tailford?
Right to hell retribution.
Is
1%.
correct.
It is a misogyny
Put the VR goggles on.
Oh, it's terrible.
Joe, you got one more point to score. Ewan, best of luck to get on the board. Which controversial Dead or Alive 6 microtransaction had to be walked back by Team
What culture Johnston?
Is it hairstyles? Changing your hair, you had to buy it back if you changed it.
I'll give you that, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
what
pay
was it?
money to change a fighter's hair colour.
Right.
Hair colour.
Joe, you're through to the final. Congratulations. Scott and Ewan, it's down to you. Your next question. In which American state is Fallout 76 set?
What culture Patterson?
Colorado?
I'm so terrible with geography. It's not Gateshead or Newcastle.
It could
Fallout.
be.
Geordie, man.
Geordie Fallout.
What culture Tailford?
Where, I don't know, is Wisconsin an answer? Is that where it is?
That is an answer.
It's not the right one. Nope.
It's not the right one. The correct answer is West Virginia.
I didn't think I'm with a W.
Oh, because they have the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Country
Sure,
roads,
take me home.
Yeah.
All that.
Oh.
The incredible line, "What a horrible night to have a curse," comes from which confusing NES sequel? Oh my goodness. Very disappointed
What
already.
culture Patterson?
I wasn't born yet.
If you're disappointed, that makes me think it's like
Obvious
It can't
is
be
what
right
it is.
on
It's obvious.
NES, though. Bob.
What culture Tailford?
It can't. It's not. I was going to say Alone in the Dark. That didn't exist back then. I don't know, but it seems obvious.
It's Castlevania 2,
course
Simon's
it is.
Quest.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Survive was infamous for making you pay for what standard feature?
What culture Tailford?
Save slots.
Of course. Of course. Scott, one more point to get through. Ewan, still to get on the board, I'm
Please,
afraid.
Just a crumb of point.
Here comes a question for you. Digital Jesters, developers of racing series Trackmania, produced 2 games in 2005 and 2006 based on which annoying marketing campaign?
What culture Patterson?
The Crazy Frog.
Oh.
I think Murray's got those games.
Which Capcom 3-quel took its franchise out onto the Xbox for the first time and also out into space, killing it in the process?
What culture Tailford?
I don't know. I was going to say Marvel vs. Capcom, but I think I'm way off.
Boom.
No.
You are way off, I'm afraid.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Which Capcom 3-quel took its franchise out onto the Xbox for the first time and also out into space, killing it in the process?
Oh, God. Yeah, no.
The game we don't talk
What
about.
culture Patterson?
Is it Soul Calibur?
No.
It's Dino Crisis 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to say that was a joke.
It sure was.
Space dinosaurs.
Within the lore of Bethesda disaster Redfall, what are the lowest forms of vampire enemy called?
Oh.
What's your standard enemy?
What culture Patterson?
A familiar. That's the thing.
No, I know. It's not. That's what it should have been. The Hungry.
The peckish. The mildly famished.
The mild, yeah.
Mildly inconvenienced. It was blood bags, I'm afraid.
Oh, goddamn bloody blood bag.
That's what I feel like, to be honest. So.
It's my blood bag.
Your next question, which resoundingly terrible sci-fi action movie shooter did Gearbox Software release in 2013?
What culture Patterson?
Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Correct. Ewan, comeback of the century, here we go. Your next question, which controversial 1992 interactive movie video game tasks the player with watching surveillance cameras at a...
What culture Tailford?
Night Trap.
Is correct. Scott, welcome to the final. Commiserations,
you.
Ewan.
Take that, Ewan.
You gotta help us. Please trap that big hog by the back door so we can get out of here.
Scott Tailford, Joe Johnson, welcome to the final of the Worst Games Ever quiz. Scott, how are you feeling?
I've been asked that in a while. Not too bad. Not too bad. Hanging in. Good. Doing all
Yeah,
right.
I'm glad. Having a good day?
Thank you. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Joe, how are you feeling?
Like one of the goons in Ride to Hell Retribution. When you beat them up and all their birds.
No.
Okay.
What?
I mean,
Never
yeah,
played Ride to Hell
misogyny
Retribution.
simulator is
Yeah.
correct.
It's
Way
exactly
too
what
much
you
of
do
it.
in that game.
Way too much of it.
That's why it's one of the worst games ever.
So the final is first to 5 points. Best of luck to the both of you. Your first question for this round. Which 2017 shooter caused several European gambling associations to
What
investigate?
culture, Tailford?
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Is correct. Investigate and ban loot boxes in their respective countries. Beast Rider is the subtitle for the
What
failed
culture, Johnston?
Golden Axe.
Is correct. Off to a flying start, both of you. Beast Rider, Golden Axe, 2008. Awful game, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. In an episode of Chatty Faces, which game did Scott Tailford say was the worst game of 2019?
What culture, Tailford?
Death Stranding. Damn it.
Surely not.
I love that game, but the end of it's terrible.
Right. How do you think about this? This is before I used to be in Chatty Faces. The worst game of 2019, Scott.
Think about it, mate.
What came out in 2019? It won't have been Sekiro.
Nope. I mean, I don't even know.
Ash hated
So.
Sekiro.
Yes.
Worst game of 2019 was... I actually can't think of anything that came out in 2019.
It is hard to try and think of a specific thing from a game.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Single thing that came out.
You always just said, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm sorry, pass.
The answer is Anthem.
Take that. I was old. Me was right.
I was going to say I forgot that game existed.
Same. Yeah, same.
Who remembers Anthem? Nobody.
Just a big old mech shooter thing, and it kind of exemplified everything that's wrong with like this year's games or this generation or the industry right now.
In an episode of Chatty Faces, which game did Ewan Patterson say was the worst game of 2020?
Oh,
What culture, Tailford?
Marvel's The Avengers.
Damn it! Oh, you had a great time with Marvel's Avengers.
No.
Yeah, you played it quite
For a week, he says.
Okay, Ewan hating game in 2020. Well, it wasn't Ghost of Tsushima. What else came out that year?
What culture, Johnston?
Doom Eternal, because he's right.
The answer is Predator Hunting Grounds. Oh, yeah. It's a movie tie-in, of course.
I enjoyed the Predator cameo in Ghost Recon Wildlands more, where they were just a bullet sponge, and the theme from Predator the movie just played over and over again.
Which video game does Dan Durkin hate the most?
What culture, Johnston?
I think it's Elden Ring.
Correct, of course.
Subjectively.
And he's right.
Yeah.
At the time of writing, what's currently the lowest rated game on Steam?
Ooh, on Steam.
Steam, there is a PC game here.
Lowest rated game of everything.
What culture, Tailford?
I'm just going to say Redfall. Is that even on Steam? Maybe not.
Of everything that's on there.
I think Redfall is pretty high up, but
Right.
it's not number one.
Because it couldn't assumedly be Gollum again. I mean, I'm out of it. Don't know why I'm helping you.
But I mean, does this include like all the sort of shovelware porn games and stuff that goes onto Steam, or just anything?
I just looked at the thing and was
Look
like,
at the
okay,
thing and-
that's number one.
Extensive knowledge of shovelware.
Yeah, which shovelware do you think it is, Joe?
I could probably make up a name. and it
You'd
would
probably be
exist.
right.
There's that many.
What culture, Johnston?
Hunt down the Freeman.
Unfortunately, no, it's NBA 2K24.
Okay.
What was the name of the 3D platformer directed by Sonic co-creator Yuji Naka?
What culture, Johnston?
Balan Wonderworld.
Correct.
Yep.
I was hoping you'd say Wonderland. That's what I always call it. It's not Wonderworld. Anyway, he's in prison now.
For a really boring crime.
For a really boring crime. Which character was the first to be made available for download following the release of Marvel's Avengers?
What culture, Tailford?
I think Kate Bishop.
Correct. Welcome back to the game, Scott.
Thank
2-3. It's still pretty tight. Developer Real Time Worlds spent over $100 million on 2010's failed open world action game APB. But what does APB stand for?
What culture, Tailford?
But I was going to go with it. I've buzzed in. It's not all point bulletin, assumedly.
Correct. Of course it is.
I thought maybe they renamed it.
Neck and neck, 2 points each to crown the champion of the worst games ever. I don't know if you want to be the champion of that, but nonetheless. Meatloaf reprises his role for a fighting game adaptation.
What culture, Tailford?
Fight Club.
Correct.
Also starring Fred Durst.
It is, yes. Contractual Fred Durst.
The best kind of Fred Durst.
It's got your 1 point away from victory. Let's see how well you know about Silver the Hedgehog, who made his debut in which Sonic the Hedgehog travesty?
Oh! Well, I
What
hit it,
Culture
but
Johnston?
Oh, did you hit it?
you can go for it. I think I'm ahead anyway.
You are ahead, so.
Travesty, Sonic 06?
Correct,
Got that
of
on
course,
a
it's neck and
Could've won,
neck.
could've
Here
won.
we
I
go.
could have won.
This is what finals are all about. Next point wins. Which Blizzard remaster, which infamously
What Culture Tailford?
Warcraft 3.
is correct? Well done, Scott Telford. You are the champion of the worst games of all time.
Thanks!
Congratulations to you. Commiserations, Joe Johnston. I suppose now you better go and play some more terrible games, I guess.
Get back on Elden Ring.
I need to know more about terrible games. Elden Ring?
That was the joke, but yes.
Commiserations, of course, to Ewan and Stevie. Thank you for taking part. Thank you for taking part. Let us know how you got on down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com for more content every day. From everyone here at What Culture and from me, Si, have a good week.